Welcome to the Sunday Roast with Mike and Danny. This is Danny, and this is Mike, and we're kind of strange. We're in the tub, and we drink a lot. At least one of us does. This is not Mike's body, but that is Danny's. And that's really gross. Thanks for watching the Sunday Roast. We love our fans. And here's Danny's mom.
His name's Michael.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And he's a Jew. You can tell he's a Jew. Look at
Ask him
him.
who's his daddy.
Magical moment. I can almost taste Danny. It's so close I can almost taste him. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. It's the Sunday Roast with your hosts, Magic Mike and Danny the GFP.
Well, it's not Mike. It's someone, well, not fat, not bald, not mentally disturbed in any kind of way, and currently not sat in the in Levante watching Barcelona. Oh, actually, is he? Were Barcelona at home today?
Away, I think.
Oh, he's had not a bad. Yeah, I think they might have been away. Yeah, so it's not Mike, it's Kris. He stepped in, and it's very nice to have you here. And welcome to the Sunday Roast, Mr. Carpenter from a Burkamp Wonderland. The only thing I haven't changed the intro, as you people well know. I just put a Burkamp Wonderland down there. What I should have done is put your French podcast down there, shouldn't I?
I mean, you know, a true professional would have done that, but we all know that
Shit.
you're not
Shit.
that. So,
What's it called?
French Football Weekly.
I'm gonna go and do that now. Tell people, ask them how they are.
Ask them or tell them. I will
Tell them how they are.
Well, I imagine the Magic one is quite happy because he witnessed a 3-2 win for Barcelona in Levante, with one Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the score sheet and a 91st minute Luke de Jong win. So that was the thing.
Last I looked, it was 2-2. It'd gone full Desmond.
Well, there you go, and a late winner. Who Luke de Jong, formerly of Newcastle United and PSV, I believe.
He was rubbish.
He was. He still is quite rubbish, to be fair. But, you know. So, Barcelona were rubbish for a few weeks. We all got excited, and now they seem to be quite good again. But, you know, Xavi, it's quite nice for him, isn't it?
Well, yeah, lovely young man that he is. What colour is the basic colour for your French Football Weekly?
Well, it's funnily enough, it's the French tricolour colours, blue, white, and red. So, you know.
I can't do that. Because white.
Go with blue if you like. Blue for Les Bleus. Would be more sensible.
That's what I've done.
I presume the Magic one is not here tonight, not because he's travelling around Europe, but because he's met sort of executive friends now. So that would mean that he's probably a bit above this kind of show now. He's
podcast wanker.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
He's best mates with all the players now, isn't he? So I don't think you'll see him again. I think this might be it for his Sunday Roast career.
He has put in a demand for payment for his services, which lack of services it should be. But he's been schmoozing with the hoi polloi of the Arsenal world and Lacazette, which is quite disturbing. If Lacazette wasn't in enough trouble as it was with lack of form and lack of absolutely everything to do with being a top quality striker, he is now burdened with having met in that minge. So I asked him how did he do it, and he didn't have a decent answer.
Well, you told me he was clearly on club level yesterday. It's how the other people eat these days. But I know what a handsome man, and Mike. But I came on this show with one sort of premise or one guarantee from you that we wouldn't talk about Arsenal. So I feel like we should probably not do that because
that's easily done. Easily not to talk about that load of old shit.
Because everyone's blaming me now that since I came on and praised the San Sebastian Steve Keane, we suddenly it's all gone a bit wonky again. So sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. It has wonky is an understatement. It's do you see that tweet going around today where the Giroud run of no goals in 16 games cost us the title? They've now done. In fact, Carl, if anyone wonders why ABW started doing some really top quality tweets, fuck all to do with me. Carl, who is at @that_London_guy, go give him a follow. Top quality. It'll ruin your journey to work if you don't. He's taken over to do it on his own back. I didn't even ask him. He does all the podcast tweets now, apart from show ones, which I do. So all the interesting ones. So he put that up today. I don't know. I haven't looked to see if he got slaughtered for it, but what's been the response in general to the him almost equaling Giroud's record?
I think Carl's doing a very good job. He's like admin, he's the man with these things. Yeah, I mean, as I said, we're not going to talk much about Arsenal because why would you? We don't want to spoil the Sunday night, but sometimes you've got to look at the people who are relying on said player who's out of form and the people above him who maybe chose to not bring in players to support said player who's out of form. So, but I wouldn't be massively surprised to see Sir Edward of Nketiah starting the next game, if I'm brutally honest. Which I mean, just
worse.
They've got the doggy. Oh, I can't call him that, can I? They've got that twat up the road and the other twat who plays with him, and we've got the two most out of form strikers in the league. But it's fine, it could always be worse. Like we could always have Chris Wood or something. I don't know, somebody like that. But anyway, can we just not talk about Arsenal?
What games did you watch today? Then we can talk about that.
Okay, let's start by talking about a controversial hot take. Is that what the kids say now? A hot take?
I think that's what the hipsters are saying, and you well know that. Being
cool.
Hipster yourself,
as everyone knows, I am the peak of fashion. I'm very in fashion. Not Manchester City, Liverpool. I've seen a lot of well-versed pundits and professionals doing what I can only be described as wanking themselves blind over this particular fixture this afternoon. Maybe I'm alone in this, and if I am, I'll die on my hill. I didn't think it was that great. Really?
It's the greatest football in the history of England. Aggressive matches, of matches in the history of English football.
Of course, yeah.
No one ever.
It pales into comparison. It pales into significance to the classic Keane Vieira, rivalry of Man United and Arsenal players rattling into each other and skirmishes. And I get that the game's moved on a bit. I get that it's a different type of football these days, but I find Man City just utterly boring. I must admit, I did find it hilarious how much their fans were moaning about how Atletico Madrid played the other night. I was thinking, have you watched your own team? You're fucking dull as fuck. Without De Bruyne, they are dull. I'm sorry, they just are. Sideways, backwards. Pep Guardiola, that reaction at the end. He's such a he's a bold fraud. And Liverpool, they got a couple of good forwards, but I don't know. I don't find either side particularly interesting personally. I'd like anyone to win it, bar Liverpool. So unfortunately, that means Man City. And I just thought the rhetoric over the game was just a bit. I don't know. I just didn't think it was that great. Those games that you watch and you got your phone in one hand and your cock in, and your something in the other hand. One of those sort of games. It's just just in case anyone wonders, by the way, if you were expecting to tune into a highbrow Sunday roast, that's off the table straight away. This is how this is going to go. But,
there again, you're replacing Mike, so it can only go uphill.
Exactly. I figured I should sort of stoop to the levels that are required for a Sunday evening show. But yeah, I just thought it was a bit shite, if I'm honest. It was all right. It wasn't worse. It wasn't as bad as Norwich Burnley at lunchtime, but it wasn't great,
I've not. I think I watched most. I think all of Torino AC Milan. The AC Milan number 8 looks like a decent player. And then I went and had a look. He's 21-year-old Italian international, so he looked good. Giroud was just good looking. It didn't really do much. So I'm glad we're Inter fans. We're glad that Milan have drawn because It means we're close to the title.
Oh, 2 points behind, aren't we? Yeah, with the win
Yeah.
yesterday.
All level soon.
Yep.
Good.
It was
the
0-0,
most
wasn't
open. Eh?
It was 0-0,
Yeah.
wasn't it, Milan?
Was 0-0. The most open Serie A league fight in years. Now that Juventus are back into it, and is it Napoli that are on the edge of it? I'm not looking. So
Yeah,
I'm not
Napoli
sure.
lost to Fiorentina at home today, so they dropped off the pace. And Juve are, I mean, we all know Juve will probably end up corruptingly buying the league some formal fashion, but yeah, they're in the mix as well.
Well, their chairman has just been down phones for you and picked up 600 SIM cards, so we all know how that's going to end up. Just go and watch the documentaries on Calciopoli version 2 and see all the SIM cards that the bloke had. So the Milan game was pretty good. I didn't bother getting out of bed until 6 o'clock today. I woke up, got up at about 1, had a wee, and went, well, I could go in the sitting room and put the heaters on, or I could just stay in bed. And it's not that I need to save money, but save money. So I went back to bed and I listened to Perry Groves on Talk Sport, because on your Amazon listening device, you've got to now register to listen to Radio 5. And I couldn't be bothered. So listen to him. It wasn't the great. He did an interesting thing. I turned it off because I got bored, but it was the players Premier League players, their first 100 games, who has won the most. And so I think it started at 76. They got up to 77, and then I turned it off. So I didn't hear the top 5. But Jens Lehmann's got to be in there, hasn't he? Possibly. Well, he drew quite a few in his first season. Yeah,
I think he'd be up there. It's interesting that you chose just to not get out of bed till 6. I like that. And also MJL2 in the chat, who's on the chat. Sorry, I'm not.
That's Michael. That's Michael in Sweden.
Oh, is it Michael in Sweden? So he's on our Twitch platform. Go on Twitch, people, if you're not, do it.
And so is Mr. Bob Lex.
Hello, Mr. Bob Lex. He was just said about games in the Alcasford. I can never say it. The Swedish league. He's saying it's
Allsvenskan. How can I say that? Allsvenskan.
You couldn't even say Wobie back in the day, let alone
Michael, did I get this right by saying Allsvenskan?
I think that is right. It's the IKEA League, I believe. Big fan of all things Swedish, and I had a rare Sunday today. Actually, I watched 5 games today. So, because as everyone knows, I literally have no life. So that was good.
At least you can get out of the house whenever you want, unlike me. Well, the weather's turning. It looks like my bum's nearly fixed.
It's still cold though, isn't it?
Not next week. They have 18, 19 degrees.
And
that, as you know, is measured in the shade. Even if you're in the Sahara Desert, weather is measured in the they put it in a box and then measure the temperature. So direct sunlight. This is one of my, Boris Johnson comes out with bullshit to get promoted, to get voted in. For when I want to be PM, I'm going to bring in, there's to be 2 levels for there's going to be 3 levels for weather. It's going to be temperature in the shade, then it's going to be in direct sunlight, and then it's going to be feels like, because then you take into account the wind. Because a number... pardon me.
Speaking of which.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. For the first time in my life, I ate a large Domino's pizza.
I had a Pizza Hut for tea, so that must be... It's like clearly good prep for the show. Pizza was clearly the way.
Well, I don't eat the crusts because I'm not a paedophile, so...
Yay. Whoa.
You eat the crusts?
Of course I do. Stuffed crust all the way, mate.
I'm not paying for all the good shit to end up going, there's 2 slices left. Oh, I've eaten the crusts of all the other stuff. And if I wouldn't have eaten the crust, I could have eaten all the good shit.
If Mike was here, he would be livid at you right now. I know it.
And then I had about 4/5 of a tub of Ben and Jerry's, my first ice cream of the year. And now I'm back on the diet again. But yeah, so I'll say, that's how the temperature's going to be, because it is bullshit. You don't need it in the shade. You want direct fucking sunlight, don't you?
See, yes and no. Because do you know how I would measure it? I'd measure it by how breezy is it in your house. Because I've made that mistake of thinking that because it was sunny last week, thinking that the clocks go forward and the lighter nights and everything's great and it's all way. But you leave that window open just a crack and it's freaking chilly. So I think maybe you should have like front room chill factor worked into that, because if you're not in direct sunlight, then it's still going to be quite chilly, isn't it? So
it is going to be. I have got. I can't get it for you because it's.
Gemini knows, by the way.
It's
Cheesy Bites crust. They don't make it anymore, Gemini. They don't do it in the UK anymore. They're frauds.
Bastards. I've got a temperature gauge there, and it tells you the actual temperature of my room at the moment, which is 25.7 degrees.
That's because you have the heating on all year round.
I do, and it tells me the temperature for my outside. I've got these little things like about the size of a matchbox. I've got 3 of them. I've got one on the sitting room window, one on my bedroom window, and one outside the back. And they say 8 degrees, 9 degrees, 8 degrees. So that's how I know, and I believe the temperature. So my point was, in the summer when it says it's 25 degrees, which is 50, which is about 80 degrees. My temperature thing was saying it was 90 odd degrees. So usually direct sunlight had 15 degrees. And there you go.
There you go.
Yesterday, I watched a good game. I watched some games yesterday. Obviously, I didn't. I watched one shit game when I got up, and then after, what other games was on yesterday?
There was Spurs against Villa, which was a shit show. How Spurs came out of that with a win, I fucked if I know.
I didn't watch the first half, and then I watched.
I did.
I watched them score.
Oh, Man United Everton, wasn't there? Man United are fucking awful, aren't they? Which I tweeted. Did you see what I tweeted yesterday?
No. Yes, I probably did. I've been retweeting all your cat tweets.
Yeah, I said Man United are Man United. This is the worst Man United team I've seen in my lifetime. Therefore, I fully expect us to lose on April the 23rd when we play them. Because you just know, don't you? You look at all the teams that are like off form, Brighton completely off form, and Everton completely off form, and we still lose to them. So you just know United will turn up on that day, and maybe somebody will throw a phone at us, which would be nice. So but that's fine.
I didn't watch any games yesterday apart from Arsenal. It was last weekend. I got up early and watched about 5 games in a day.
Well, there you go. I'm trying to think what I watched. There was those 2 I watched yesterday, and I watched. What was the game last night? The French game I watched last night. Oh, PSG against Clermont.
And do you know how I know what happened in there? I was following someone on Twitter. I was having kittens about a double hat trick and 2 assists for Messi. I think it was
3. Let's get it right. If you'd have been following me, you would have known that was, I was doing a live comms on that one. So, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, for myself. I do it occasionally for the FFW website.
Oh, what you mean? You were commentating audio or typing?
Oh, just live tweeting. Yeah, just goal updates and stuff.
I did wonder why you keep doing that. I didn't realise that you was doing it for actually meaning to do it as this game. I will be doing all the updates for people who can't watch it.
Well, do you want to know? Do you want to know a little bit of inside scoop here? I can't reveal whom the person is because I wouldn't want to sully their name. But I will have you know that I have actually provided stats and information for one of BT Sports co-commentators in recent times. So there you go.
Is that because they can't be bothered to watch it?
No, he's actually one of the good ones. There's 2 who I will name: Jonathan Pearce, Clive Allen, absolute fucking frauds. Tonight they were talking about Strasbourg's victory over Lyon, which was fantastic because they drew 1-1. So that was great. Good prep there. This is a company who pays these 2 frauds, one being ex-Spurs, let's not forget, to commentate. He
spent 5 minutes at Bordeaux.
Yeah, which they talk about every week, which is a long-running thing on our podcast, and we always do Bordeaux bingo. It's when Jonathan Pearce will ask Clive Allen about when he played for Bordeaux. And tonight's winner was a chap from Truro in Cornwall who wins the Merlin sticker album. But also, they basically spend the entire evening watching French football matches and talking about the Premier League. It's great. It's really, really good. Really top-notch from BT. Really worth that 30 quid I pay a month, you absolute frauds. But for this person I have been helping out with, Jez and I have helped out, Rich has as well. Yeah, he's a thoroughly nice chap, ex-professional, knows his stuff. The person I'm helping out with the stats and stuff.
Okay, go on.
And he knows his stuff, thoroughly nice chap, and he does his research. He's actually one of the better pundits. It's not Micah Richards, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering.
It does annoy me when you hear absolute fucktard. People who are either a fucktard and don't know anything about football, or people who can't speak properly. Now, I really didn't like that black bloke played for Ireland. He's about as Irish as my left foot. Actually, my foot is probably Irish.
No,
forward. Can't speak properly.
Oh God.
I moaned about him a lot.
What
He was a
era?
strike. Retired recently. I think he may have played a couple of seasons in the Premier League. Didn't really do much. Does a lot of BB Radio 5. I think he's done a few other things. He's done a bit on Sky a few times.
I think the chat might have to help us out with this one. I don't know who the hell that is.
Some people. Who is he? Anyway. Clinton Morrison, I think it is.
Oh, Clinton played for Palace. Yeah.
Did he play for Ireland?
Yeah. He is he's from South London, born and bred.
He can't construct a sentence. He's got a bit of a speech impediment, but he does know his football when it comes to quiz stuff. But you can't have someone on there like who was that woman? Played for England, was a Brummie, Karen. Is it Karen Carney?
Yeah,
absolute dipshit. Should not be talking about football, but these people are on there. Why the hell aren't they getting someone like you or Tom or people like that who can?
Because we all know why. We all know why, don't we? Controversial take for the evening coming up, of course. I'm all for women in sport. I'm all for gay, straight, whatever. I'm all for equality.
There's not many better than Kelly Cates.
Exactly, 100%. And Laura Woods, is it? He's very good as well.
Oh, world class.
I'm all for when we're talking women in sport. I'm all for it. However, what I'm not for is the message. To quote my good friend, the Critical Drinker, look him up on YouTube. He's hilarious. And
hilarious.
The message, I think he is. The message is, that we have to be, we have to be diverse. We have to tick all the boxes. We have to. Look,
so
it doesn't
I tick a box. Why the fuck aren't I getting stuff? How many people have sat down on commentating? None.
You're an idiot, in fairness. But if you're a woman who talks sense and knows her football, no problem at all. If, however, you're a woman who doesn't really understand the game and has no real knowledge, I don't really understand why you're on Sky or any other or BT. And like I say, I don't care if you're a woman, a child, a dog. It doesn't matter. If you don't know your football, why are you on shows? I mean,
box ticking, which is a shame because there's that one, I think it was ex-Man City, big black bloke, he's English, Onamora or something like that.
Oh, Neda Manua. I think he's all right.
Absolutely fantastic.
I think he's all right.
And the only reason he's now on there is because they got boxes to tick. When they shouldn't have Jamie Carragher. They shouldn't have Steve McManaman. Onamora should have been doing this as soon as he retired from football because he's brilliant. And the other new bloke from Man City who does the laughing. What's his name?
Mickey Richards.
Now, I hated him because he's laughing his bullshit. And then someone messaged the BBC Radio 5 before the show started and said, do you have to laugh all the time or something like that? He did the entire show without laughing and he was an absolute delight. Now, the only reason he's there is because they went for a box ticking exercise again. And so he's on there when he shouldn't be on there because of that. He should have been on there beforehand. And like that woman, Laura Woods, week in, week out, she is turning those dipshits on TalkSport inside out. Why she isn't hosting her own show on Sky Sports, or no, not Sky Sports, they don't have football anymore, do they? On BT. No, BT don't have anything either, do they? On whatever channel now has all of the football. Who has all the football?
Yeah, well, but not only that. Like, why? To me, it's and it's less so Premier League because Premier League obviously there's a lot to choose from. But if you look at BT's coverage of Serie A, it's actually very good because they have AC Jimbo, they have James Horncastle, they have people who actually know Italian football. When it comes to, I can only speak from experience of the French league. The only good person that they employ for a regular show is Matt Spiro, who's been on this show, in fact. And Matt lives in France. He's an Arsenal fan, fun enough. He's an English speaker. He hosts the Liga show, which is broadcasted by BT, but he's not on BT, if you see what I mean. He's not, he doesn't do his own show. And that's purely because BT basically bought Liga rights because they just wanted a league that somebody else didn't have. They couldn't get La Liga because that was sold. But even Bundesliga on Sky, there's no presentation. It's just turn up, here's the game, fuck off. That's it. There's no... And I would honestly, if the day ever comes where somebody just buys all of the major leagues and they just says, right, this is one channel, and you're just going to have all the European leagues on one channel, it'll never happen because there's too much money in the rights. But if you could have Sky's production value is brilliant, I can't deny that. But some of the punditry, I honestly, God's honest truth, genuinely, I'm not even kidding. I I could not tell you the last time I watched Match of the Day, and that's nothing against like Gary Lineker or anybody that have on it. I just don't find it interesting, and I don't want to watch Chelsea put 6 past Southampton. I've got absolutely no interest.
No.
I watch the Arsenal games usually in in delay because I don't watch streams because streams are for paedophiles, and I watch everything French, and that's it. Like I don't watch other teams unless it's a live game, because to me the interest is just gone for that. Like, you want to watch a live game with people who are properly invested in the game, and you don't get that anymore. Even the Championship, the people who are having that really good because they're really invested in the Championship.
So the gist of that is, because of the entire history of football has been old, fat, pink British men, that if you're any of that now, you're getting nowhere. That's why they won't ask you to come on and do stuff. They won't ask Tom to come on and do stuff. Harry gets on and does some stuff. Sophie should be doing her own show because she's brilliant. Dan, what's his bloody surname? Lee Judge's mate. Dan Potts. How the fuck can I forget Dan Potts' surname? Jesus.
But Dan
Potts,
argument...
he puts up a good... If you want someone feisty, get Dan Potts on Talk Sport. And
but
get rid of someone like O'Hara.
The argument is, I'd say TalkSport are the only ones who do get some people in who are like not, qualified. And the argument is, and I do get this, if you've gone to university and you've done the degrees in sports journalism and you've done all that, then you deserve to get the big jobs. I don't think, because Sky experimented with it, didn't they? In those years ago, they had like fan cam, and they had like what was it? Yeah, the thing where you had like two just fans, and they would just sit in the booth.
Yeah, they had to stop it after a Spurs Arsenal one, where the Spurs fan was going fucking mental.
Yeah, I mean that was a bit cringe, but the idea was all right there.
But they do that with La Liga, don't they? I was watching Barcelona tonight, and they have the screen split into 4, big one for the match, one down the bottom right for Twitter, bottom left 2 blokes chatting, and the left-hand side stats. They have that on La Liga TV.
But I guess the argument is, we're doing this for free. Anyone can start a YouTube channel. Anyone can broadcast on Twitch. Anyone can, I don't think Periscope's a thing anymore, is it? But, anyone can broadcast now. You just need
Periscope got bought out by Twitter, so we're now broadcasting on what used to be Periscope.
Oh, right. Okay. There we go. It shows what I know. But that's the argument. If you've got stuff you can say, then you go on. I mean, it does happen. I mean, like, some people who've been YouTubers have gone on to make content and gone on to make, a lot of money out of it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess the argument would be, if you had somebody like some of those people you just mentioned there, if you put them in a studio, with the lights and everything, would they actually be able to be themselves? Because that's the other argument, isn't it? Like, do we really get the real version of these people, or do we get the slightly filtered version of them? That's why I always quite like listening to Adrian Clark, because he's always he's good. Naturally, he's very pro Arsenal, but he came from a podcast background like ours. He used to do a show called what was it called? No, wait, no, this is way before that. I used to do a show with him. Red, White, and Blue, I think it was called, and it was him and Ian McIntosh. Do you remember Ian McIntosh, who's broadcaster?
Hasn't he just died?
I don't think so. I hope not.
There's a bloke who does Duncan Castle does the transfer podcast with a Scottish bloke, and the Scottish bloke just died.
Oh no, I don't think Ian was Scottish. I don't think. I hope not. Anyway, but yeah, Adrian was literally doing a podcast like ABW. That's what he was doing, and then Arsenal picked up on the fact he was quite good with his stats. He got in the Championship side, and now obviously he does what he does.
Ian McGarry was the one who died.
Ian McGarry, Christ, yeah.
He's a year older than me.
Yeah, he was. I know that name. He used to be on a lot of the James Richardson pods, I think. But yeah, I mean, but Adrian used to do shows like what we do, and obviously he did really good. So yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a shame that people with real talent maybe don't get the credit they deserve. I tell you what is funny though, and I won't bang my own drum too much on this, but speaking of said person I was talking to you about, who I do some stats for occasionally, what was really interesting is I helped him out with some Lorient stats for the game, not this weekend, a couple of weekends back, when Lorient played at home, and the stats that he was WhatsApping me through the game. So like he would like something would come up and he would WhatsApp me and go, "Oh, where is so and so? Or is so and so injured? Or do we know what's going on?"
So I see he's doing the live commentary. He's making himself look good by asking you questions, and you're keeping it.
Exactly.
Did you get a nod at the end or anything?
No, because I mean, I didn't ask for one. I'm not paid for this. It's just I'm just doing him a favor. But he asked me about Tanguy Ndombele because it was a Lorient against Lyon game, and he asked me about whether he was injured or whatnot, and I quickly sort of looked up the bits and bobs and filtered it through to him, and then literally within 10 seconds, the guy he was on co-coms with sort of went, "Oh, and of course, Lyon without Tanguy Ndombele tonight, who's got this injury. He's a bit of a doubt for midweek." It's exactly what I'd said to my colleague, but it
must make you feel good the fact that I know we all joke about your love of French football and how we all hate it, but I feel the same way. No, I feel in a similar way about Serie A in the golden days, and now I do about Bundesliga. I really like those leagues. Sometimes I'd rather watch games there than watch stuff in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's just about having a passion. And Jez, who I do the podcast with, is he's far more articulate than I am. And Phil, who hosts with us as well, like we enjoy it. That's why we do a podcast about it. And nobody tells anybody what they can or can't watch. And I must admit, I do miss the old days of La Liga. It used to be on Sky Sports, didn't it? On a Saturday night and a Sunday evening, you'd have a choice. You could watch like Serie A on the afternoons on Channel 4. You'd have La Liga on Saturday and Sunday nights on Sky, plus a Premier League game. And I seem to remember you used to be able to get like Dutch football for a while on a couple of channels. And
yes,
and
now, I think we're known for their. You don't have IPTV, do you?
No,
you're in a cave because it is so good. You'll get the one I use. You'll get 6 different versions of the same match, various qualities from all over the world, and you get everything. It's so good, and I can get
I'm weighing it up because BT Sport is about £35 a month, which is bloody ridiculous.
I can get you it for 70 a year.
I barely watch Champions League games, if I'm honest. I don't watch. Thank you, Bob Lex. That wasn't my arse; it's my chair. You cheeky fucker.
Bob Lex is getting. Oh my god! Look who's here! Look who it is!
Oh god! It is over, fam. It is over. John,
it warms the cockles. Am I allowed to do this? Oh no, I can't do that. I have to go back to that brand. I was going to put John's picture up. It warmed the cockles of my heart the other day having John back on the podcast. And the week before that, you come back. People thought you were both dead. They thought you'd eloped.
No, it's nice to hear that John is still around and hasn't yet contracted any form of sexually orientated disease that's killed him off. It's good to hear.
Well, we thought the Chinese were going to kill him off at his last fucking. I hope that bottle is refillable and you've just put your own water in it.
Hey. It has water in it. Yeah. What do you think it was? Piss?
No, I mean, is that tap water?
Yeah.
Good.
What did you think it was?
No, I mean, if that had been shut. See, this is we'll come back to that in a minute, Jedi. It winds me up that people are going, "Oh my god, fuel is £1.80 a litre." Sean was moaning. I went, "Sean, dear, you'll go to the garage and buy a bottle of water like that for £1.50. And that's 3/4 of a litre.
I'm definitely not drinking fuel.
No, I was making sure that you weren't doing a Sean. You had 20. Saying that, I've got quite literally, and I hate that using that word, about 41.5 litre bottles of fizzy water around the house. And I'm really thirsty, but they're all still in their plastic containers and I can't get them out. So I'll have to
fizzy water is underrated, by the way. Sam Penrino is elite. I used to enjoy that.
Is that the one where they do the orange and the lemon ones?
Yeah, but
the blood orange.
Yeah, they're so good and the great.
Filth.
Yeah, it's not the same company, I don't think. Or is it? It might be. I don't know. There's a fizzy water in a green bottle with a Italian. Yeah, I think it's San Perino. Anyway, very, very good. Very, very good.
John says, "New office full of women to embarrass myself with."
Splendid business.
We all know we've got the office strumpet, a bit of crumpet. John's the bit of crumpet wherever he goes. So all the ladies love him.
No, John's the toaster. The crumpet just goes into John, all the other way around. That's what. Matthias, by the way, very limited, my friend. Very limited. Please.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Kris. J'habite Angleterre.
It's a little bit more than that, but that's
other than that. Just shout. Phil Macker says
and wave your arms around.
It cost him £6.20 to fill up his moped today. Went to Sean's graduation on Monday in Nottingham, fucking shithole, and I put £100 worth of diesel in the van. Most of it's still in it because that'll do. It's a 2-litre turbo diesel, and it's that Econo blue thing. It'll last for fucking ever. Gemini Jedi says Reece Nelson scored and assisted for Feyenoord today. Good. There's that bloke playing in Holland. Is it Marco Reus or is it the other one?
It's not Marco Reus.
It was the other one. There was two of them at Dortmund together, diminutive playmakers.
Mario Götze, I believe, is who you're referring to at PSV.
And he's invented new strings to pull.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a wonderful, talented footballer.
He got a bit disillusioned with it and wanted a fresh start.
And he had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, so I always get those two mixed up. Yes, they are. No, they're not top. Oh, Ajax are top by 4 points.
Yeah.
I saw the Ajax goalkeeper being interviewed on telly. He's a cheeky chappy.
Oh, no,
good-looking fella. Onanua, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
He's got a hairstyle on him. He looks like a confident bloke. I think I'd have quite liked him at the Arsenal.
He was the chap who was banned for 6 months due to doping.
He misses his wife's tablets.
yeah, colotourism for those who, if you know, you know. Yeah. It's Bob Lex is Goetzer at PSG. No, he was at Dortmund and he was at PSV and he was. Where else did he go? Where else did he play?
He went to Dortmund somewhere else, then back to Dortmund, and then left Dortmund again, didn't he?
Yeah, he's been around.
Did he go to Bayern?
Yeah, he did. Of course he did, because he played in the Champions League final, didn't he? Yeah, because he was one of the first to cross the divide. But he got a lot of injuries, and didn't he score in the World Cup final as well? I don't think he did. There's a lot of controversy, isn't there, about Dortmund's
goats are full of chocolate. What the fuck does that mean?
He started at Bayern he came through the ranks in 2001. He left for Bayern in 2013, and he went back to Dortmund in 2016, and then went to PSV in 2020. And he did indeed score the winning goal in the 2014 World Cup final.
Isn't that like Mats Hummels was at Dortmund, a Bayern youngster, went Dortmund, Bayern.
Yeah, Hummels has gone back, and this summer Niklas Süle is going from Bayern to Dortmund as well. So it's not quite such a big thing anymore over there.
If only Carl was here to answer this question.
Julian Draxler? Yes.
Oh, if you say that 3 times, Carl will turn up standing behind you with a hard on.
He is indeed still in Paris. He doesn't play like hardly ever. But he doesn't want to leave, so he's conveniently just sitting there until they inevitably pay him off and he ends up at Newcastle or somewhere like that. But
Newcastle.
He's still a very good footballer, but he just doesn't really get games. I mean, to be fair,
how could he? There's only unless they start changing the rules on football, you can play 15 players. All those players at PSG aren't all going to play.
Well, there's a convenient handover subject. What do you reckon to 5 subs next year?
I am delighted with it. Serie A has gone mental because it is unlimited on the bench. You can have the entire stadium on the bench. There's no limit. So
Arteta would be happy then with the pit crew, wouldn't he? He can have the tea lady and everyone down there.
The pit crew are going to get squad numbers next season.
They are.
He's going to like it. Yeah, John knows. Don't start Carl off with Draxler, for fuck's sake. He's always on about him. But it's I like it, but I don't like the fact that it's limited to 3 substitution periods, isn't it? I would like it.
Yeah.
I would say the time that is going to get added on for a substitution is now 15 seconds rather than, is it 30 for every sub?
Yeah.
I'd say it's 15 seconds and you can make all 5 whenever at different times if you want, because then you're going to lose the bit of the time wasting come the end of the game. But having 5, I think, is brilliant. Not for us, because we don't have 5.
Well, I was just going to say, like, the only thing is, I mean, we've got a bench full of young, talented youngsters that we just refuse to bring on, like yesterday. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of 2 of them having to be homegrown players, but then I just figure if you did do that, then the managers just wouldn't use them. And then and you always get this argument, don't you, from like fans like Burnley. Oh, Burnley won't be able to compete with Manchester City. That's because Burnley is shit, mate. Like, just face it. Like, who cares about Burnley? Like, even people in Burnley don't care about Burnley. Fuck Burnley. But if you've got a if you've got a team, like a Man City, I guess the argument is 5 subs. They can just bring on. Well, they could bring on like Mahrez, Sterling, De Bruyne, Jesus, and Laporte in one go, couldn't they?
It's like the NBA team, the All Stars. What were they called? The
Globetrotters, yeah.
The Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I mean? The Harlem Globetrotters. That's what Man City are.
Yeah, a little bit. Although the Foden's getting a run for him, I suppose. I don't know. I'm kind of pro the idea of it.
But everyone else is doing it, and when you're in Europe, you're allowed to do it. So it's silly that they're not.
And it doesn't mean you have to use all 5, does it? It just means
fuck knows we don't use 3.
No, exactly. It's just cool. Imagine Arsene would be fucked with this rule, and he'd be like, "Oh, hang on a minute." I can't do them all in the 76th minute. What am I going to do?
There's not enough room for all 5 of them to come on at once.
No. But it'd be interesting to see. I think the first thing they need to probably have a look at is VAR, though. I don't want to go over yesterday, but I do think the thing that I hate about, and I know this has probably been done to death, but the thing I hate about the VAR thing is it just sucks the life out of games, doesn't it? Watching that.
He's cut himself off. He got too excited. Look at that. So Noza says, Noza, you haven't done any Carpenter outs tonight. What are you doing? He'll be back in a second, no doubt. And I'm looking at my stream on another monitor. I'm still live. Good. There he is.
About that.
There he is.
Sorry. It all went a bit wonky there. I do apologise.
It's okay. I covered.
I don't know what happened there. I was just saying, while I was watching the greatest football match ever to be shown in living history earlier on, the Sterling goal, I was like, oh, what a good goal. And you can't, like, even though I don't really care who wins that game, there was a bit of what a great finish. Oh, that's a really good goal. And you sort of sit up in your seat, and then you go, oh, but hang on a minute. We got to wait for the twat with the machine, don't we? And when he's offside by, like Martinelli's was, just make the rule that, okay, you can't do daylight, but just give the attackers the advantage. If you're that shit a defender that you have to rely on a striker's shoulder being offside, just don't play the game. Like, you're shit. Just go away and do something else. Like, whereas if the player is clearly stride in front, make it stride length. You're not going to get people goal hanging with the length of a stride, unless they're Peter Crouch and they can stride 19 fucking miles. That you're not going to give an advantage to anybody. And if anything, it will just make the game readapt. Coaches will have to make sure their defensive lines are a bit lower back. Like, I'm so bored of this Klopp thing. We got a high line. We got to do the press. Oh, fuck the press. Just let attackers, every player that comes through now, in whatever position they are, what they look for is pace. They want everyone to be a quick, like, athletic, quick player. So rely on that pace. And if you've got quick defenders, you don't have a problem, do you? It just kills it for me. And I've only been at a handful of live games since VAR come in. I will openly admit to that. But it's just not the same. If you go to your local club, I've been to Argyle a few times. It's just that raw emotion of a goal going in. You don't even think twice. You just like, that's a goal. You
can't celebrate. You look like a tit. See, I wasn't sure about the offside rule because they keep tinkling it. I thought between the goalkeeper and the attacker had to be one player, but turns out it's now 2. When did it become 2?
What, two in front of the? Hang on, 2. What's this? 2 behind the ball? Do you mean, or 2?
Yeah, between the goalkeeper and the striker.
Oh yeah, no,
that's more defenders.
I think that's always been. Okay. I think I could be wrong. I know you have to have a player in front of the goalkeeper for it to not be offside as well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So when I did that tweet yesterday at half time and I put the lines on there and I just assumed that the bloke who looks like you, their right back, who is fucking decent, every time he plays us, he has a great game. I thought him and the goalie were next to each other and that Martinelli's foot was behind those. So there were the 2 players, the goalie and the last defender were behind the ball. I did that at half time yesterday. I'm still getting, and then straight after, a minute later, I put, actually, that you can see the sock is black. That is the goalkeeper. It's offside. A minute later. So that would have been about 3:45, 3:46 yesterday. I'm still getting tweets now telling me it was offside.
That's because the internet is full of dickheads.
Oh my God. I've just resorted to telling people to fuck off. I've actually blocked a couple. I can't remember the last time I did a tweet that had such an interaction. It's fucking crazy.
That's because the internet is full of people who are looking for people who've made mistakes. I mean, to be fair, I did it to Jonathan Pearce tonight, but if you can't even get a result right, then you're fodder. But
did he block you, or did you get a reply? Or
I doubt he even knows what a computer is, let alone Twitter. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, yeah, yesterday's goal by the letter of the law is offside, right? But the
see
thing
that there, look, that's what I did, and then after that, because I thought you can see his head there, you can see the goalie's head, and I just thought that was because the angle the goalie's standing at, I thought his feet are going to be more to the left, and that white boot was the Coachella bloke, whatever his name is. I thought, well, there you go, they're both keeping Martinelli on side, and that has had 1,621 likes and 125 retweets. I mean, 257 retweets and 125 quote retweets, all telling me you're fucking wrong. Yes,
you're massive,
I know.
Danny. Literally.
I know I got it fucking wrong. How about you fuck off?
Well, the thing is as well is that picture. In fact, just bring that picture back up. So if you look at that in isolation, right, and you say that Cucurella, okay, who's behind Robert Sanchez in that picture, so his head is just behind the goalkeeper's, where the white print of the goalkeeper is. His head is there, right?
Yeah.
Now that to me is a classic example of a goal that should just stand. For two reasons. One, watch the reaction of the Brighton players when he scores. Nobody questions it. Nobody, there's no hoo-ha about, oh, God, this is offside. Like, no one says a thing. They just think, oh, shit, we've conceded. So they don't even have a clue. And more to the point, even if they had kicked up a stink, that to me is close enough to say you just give the advantage to the attacker. If, however, Martinelli is in the position where he is, and is it Lewis Dunk number 5? If that's the case, and there isn't another player in front of the goalkeeper, that's clearly offside. Clearly, because although you could argue that Martinelli's left arse cheek is level with Lewis Dunk's boot, to me, the predominant amount of his body is in front of the defender. Therefore, that's a clear advantage, right? It's the old-fashioned Sunday League rule, basically, when you're not cheating because you're running the line for your team and you put your flag up every single time, as everyone knows. But in old-fashioned sort of the offside rule, that's what is given for. But the whole point of VAR, or what I thought was supposed to be, was that it's to call out a clear and obvious error. Nobody can tell me that is a clear and obvious error. Just like Raheem Sterling's today to make it 3-2. Is a clear and obvious. It's just not, is it? It's not clear and obvious at all under any stretch. And yet, and this is another example to give you with regards to how stupid VAR is. During the Bochum Leverkusen match this afternoon, Moussa Diaby takes a penalty, and because he slips as he takes it, he hits it with 2 feet. So he does that old Beckham, hits 1 foot into the other. Ball hits the net. The referee, because of the rules, is forced to rule that penalty out because it's a double touch.
But so he's taking the penalty though, didn't he?
Because it's a foul because he's kicked the ball with 2 feet. He knew absolutely nothing about it. His feet go from under him, he slips and the ball hits the net. But because that is a rule, so that rule is still in place, and yet we're all accepting of a rule of VAR, which is supposed to be giving clarity, and yet there's a rule that's stupid still in place that no one kicks off. The whole system is just a mess. You've got referees trotting around like John Moss, who's fucking more overweight than I am. Probably more overweight than you are, Danny. And that's saying something.
Look at this 16... Oh, go on, carry on. I thought you'd stopped.
No, it just bugs me because it takes away the natural flow of football. And that's what we all kind of want to enjoy, isn't it? No matter what league we watch. I'm done now.
I mean, like this bloke, these are... I don't know what team this person supports. Doesn't say. Moaning 16 minutes ago. And a fellow Arsenal fan telling me I don't understand football and VAR rules. Who really does? Because the referees don't. And this one, it's offside for sure. 26 minutes ago. I did it a day and a fucking half ago. And people just don't bother looking. Even my poorly drawn line relative to the goal line shows they're really working hard to give the goal. It's an Arsenal fan. The Arsenal fans are getting... Oh, he's done his own line. I'll let him away with that lot.
He's done his own line.
It's just constant Arsenal fans. There's just Josh being a min. Arsenal fans getting the horn about telling me that I'm wrong when I said I'm wrong a minute later. They're all cunts. It's fucking unbelievable. You think they'd be going, "Oh mate, I know we've been robbed," but not. They're taking out their fun. I'm not one to get too overly bothered. Is your cat being bad? Has he done a
No,
poo?
he's in the litter tray, and he's got this really annoying habit at the moment of eating litter, and it's making his stomach bad. So I'm trying to just keep an eye on him so he doesn't go in
Have you
there.
tried getting wooden litter?
Yeah, but he won't go on that. So and it makes an awful mess in the cupboard. In the cupboard? No, in the hallway. Yeah. So there you go. That's my rant of the weekend on football. But
is it as bad in other leagues as it is in this league with them?
Or VAR?
Yeah.
It's not. No, I don't think anywhere's as bad as the Premier League. But we all know because the Premier League is, of course, the best league in the world, and there's no other leagues exist that it's not highlighted. But no, in all seriousness, no, it's there are some bad takes in other leagues. I think Serie A has had its problems with it. I know Juventus were quite unhappy last week. Cry me a river, dickheads. But yeah, well, Inter had a penalty which they won the game from. Hi, Juve fans, how you doing?
We won 2-0, didn't we?
1-0. It was a twice taken penalty from
Ibrahimovic. Inter won yesterday 2-0.
Yes, but yeah, it was disallowed. The first penalty was disallowed because De Ligt encroached in the box, and the VAR quite rightly pulled it back, and he put away the second one. So
we've got an interloper because I've given him access to the pod account.
You are cheating on me. You are cheating on me with someone far better looking. And you're talking about football. That's not what this show's about. Hey, Kris.
Hey, Mike. I did warn him. I did say I didn't want to talk anything about football, but he started me off, and that was it.
How did you? We've already been through this. You need to explain yourself. With what's this bullshit about? What's that? How did that happen? How did you do that? How did you do that? Did they ask? Did they say they knew you, or did you say, "Do you know who I am"?
I said, "Do you know who I am?" And I mean, they heard the shout out. If you stayed in your seats at halftime of the game yesterday, you heard the shout out to Magic Mike and his son Jake from the States. We basically run the show there. I've worked my way in. I'm the founder of Arsenal Football Club at this point.
Don't you forget how you got to that position? Who elevated you there?
There is suggestions that Thierry Henry asked for Mike's autograph. That's what I've heard.
You've heard of David Danskin. I'm David Foreskin, and the Arsenal is runs in my blood. So
I'm watching you, boy.
The truth is, I have a colleague, a very prominent colleague in my company, who I found out recently has diamond seats in the Diamond Club. The diamond seats must hurt to sit in, but after the game, he invited us up, and we were going to go back to the Tolly and see people and all that. And he said, "Just come up for a few minutes. Oh, there's Lacazette and Thierry. Go take a picture with them, and Bukayo and his whole family comes past, and they wanted to see the Yank. They wanted to yank.
Your boy has been spoiled.
Yes, he is.
Did you go full? Did you go full fangirl, Mike? That's the key question here.
Not really, because I'd had a lot of red wine at that point, and so I was
it
chill.
Free red wine?
It was free. It was really good Cabernet, I have to say.
Where's Jake?
Jake is talking to his lady friend on the phone from the bathroom. I banished him to the toilet because otherwise we'd be hearing that conversation on on the podcast. But
John says, "Is Mike going to do karaoke?" That is your Guitar Hero. That's what it's from.
It is. It says it right. Hold up.
Rock band. Putting the rock and roll back in podcasting.
It should say podcast, but yeah, no. I did take the microphone, but I wasn't going to take the microphone stand. That would have just been a little, who does that?
A bit too Freddie Mercury.
Who would bring a bell to Spain with them? Just on the off chance that one of these football games ends in time to do the Sunday roast.
Did you tell Thierry Henry my thoughts on him being a whore and a traitor?
I didn't. I said that to Bakayo's mom, which was not very nice. No, I forgot that you had
Bakayo's mum.
Yeah, Mrs. Saka. Bukaki Soccer is his name.
Mummy Saka.
Bukaki Soccer and Terry Henry were there. No, it was fun. Look, the worst part of this trip, like the one bad moment twice over, is the 4 hours of Arsenal football that we had to watch. Other than that, this has been great. And yeah, my son is spoiled. I told him that I want to be my dad.
Should we have a moment so Kris can talk to you about what it was like to see PSG play Lorient? I'm going to shut up while you two talk about it.
I'd rather not, to be honest, because we didn't actually have a great night, to be fair.
Apparently, but then Lorient goes out and posts 6 next game.
Oh, yeah.
We were just saving ourselves. Told me that tonight. Yeah, no, Lorient, you know, at the beginning of the second half, Lorient came out. They started bossing the game a little bit, scored a goal, and then Mbappe, who, you know, I'm speaking now to the man who first told me about Kylian Mbappe like 8 years ago, even though I didn't even know you guys or have a podcast until 6 years ago. He told me about Mbappe when he was a fetus, and he even used his full name at the time, which is like Mbappe Lotin or something like that, right?
Kylian Mbappe Lotin, yes, indeed.
Lotin. And my God, he's the best player in the world now. I mean, it's not even close. We saw, you know, you got to go see them back to back in order to understand. Haaland is just not at the level of Kylian Mbappe.
If people don't know, Mike, tell them the journey. Just going game to game. What games you've
Sorry
been
for taking over the show. I just got a notification that you guys were doing this, and I'm like, I'm 10 minutes from being home. We just walked home from the Ciutat, the Stadio Ciutat de Valencia. I'm sweating my ass off. I don't know if you can tell, but and I'm like, I gotta jump on here.
So start from the beginning. What games did you see?
Day one was Leverkusen and Hertha Berlin, followed by Dortmund and Leipzig. Leipzig, as Schwinn used to call them. Danny, remember Schwinn?
Of course I remember Schwinn. Still around.
Is he? I don't know. He's disappeared off the face of the earth as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Leipzig absolutely murdered Dortmund, but the experience at Dortmund is special. So we did 2 in one day. Next morning we went to Paris. That night, Paris, PSG, and Lorient. Followed by a train to London and yet another disgusting away day at Crystal Palace. I have to stop going to those games because Palace is a house of horrors for us. Yeah, Bob, AMN's mom, Jewel Niles would have kicked my ass. Then Tuesday went up to Manchester, had a little visit with the Kevaroo, Super Kev. Had a couple Guinea with him, and then went to the.
Oh, he interviewed Jake, didn't he?
Yeah, we did. We did in what's called in the business is called a bit.
Oh, fuck off.
They call that, you know, in the professionals call. Yeah, we did a little pre-record bit for the show for the Highbury Squad that night, yeah, then we watched City try to break down 2 walls of 5 very well-drilled defenders who almost kept the shutout. Let's see, the next night, Chelsea and Madrid. That was probably the best game we've seen so far. Madrid were.
I saw your video from that. That was good. They
were unbelievable. And then let's see. Thursday, Leicester and PSV. I know of it. I mean, who goes to games like that? But that was Thursday. Then we took a break on Friday and just hung out with Perry Groves all day.
We were talking about him earlier on in the show.
Lovely guy. Funny ass stories. I mean, I was looking forward to Friday for a long time because he told us that after his tour was over, because he does the Legends tour, we would grab a couple beers, and I figured, you know, he'd stay there. He'd let me buy him a beer and then leave, and then just be me and Jake and Lee Judges. But and that's never fun. But he stuck around for 2.5 hours. We were talking stories of the old days of the no inside stories from the Tuesday Club. We talked about the Tuesday Club a lot, but not. There's like a Fight Club thing to it where I don't think he's allowed to talk about what actually happened. But and then yesterday was my day with Bukayo and Thierry, and then tonight was Levante against Barcelona. I got to see Aubameyang score one last time. He's
more importantly, you got to see Luke De Jong score. I mean, got
to see Luke De Jong score a winner. Jake was very impressed by that. That game, the first half was dreadful. The second half was some of the most exciting football I've seen. Levante got 3 penalties. They missed the middle one, but their 2 goals came from 2 made penalties out of 3. And then I walked here and said it's time for a podcast. I want to see how this Sunday roast is going on without me. And apparently, since the viewership has dropped since I joined the show, I think you guys were probably doing quite well.
We were just waffling, really, weren't we, Danny? Because I had no idea how Danny wanted to conduct this evening, so we just kind of waffled, really, and just shot we had a moan about VAR, and that was about it, really. We did everything that we shouldn't do. Talked about football.
I know we're waiting for it, but with the journey you've been on, though, Mike, it's you got to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been, and this is going to be slightly sappy, but if you have a son, I know there's not much you can do about this now, Danny, but if you're out there and you're
she hits like a bloke.
Well, she does have a son.
Remind me. At the end before the end of the show ends, I've got 2 stories about Sean at work. Carry on.
Okay. Have a child. I shouldn't say a son, but I don't know. There's something about a father-son situation that I'm loving right now. He's 18. He's just the funnest person to be around. We're enjoying the hell out of each other. It's everything that I didn't get a chance to do with my dad. I mean, look how blissful he is. His eyes are closed, so he's soaking it all in. You don't see 18-year-olds smile too much. That is like a true smile. He's like, I cannot believe that they're here. And Lacazette, obviously, he can't look too happy to be with us because he just had another stinker, and when social media starts posting pictures of a guy gleefully smiling after a pathetic home loss, and then North Banksy did a drawing of me. Well, that's an old one. That's old. Unfortunately, not everyone in that picture is still living, which is really sad.
I didn't look who else was in the picture. Oh, I'm not going to bring it back up. Yeah, it's Chig.
Yeah, look at the hair on me. That.
Yeah, but we put you straight on that, didn't we? We all got together. We had an intervention, and you sorted your life out.
You can't. If you can't look like Kris, then you need to look like us. There's no in between, and I spent 10 years trying to be somewhere in between hairlistically, and you finally just give up. Daniel O'Donovan heard the tribute yesterday. That's awesome.
Is your hair as bad as this though?
I was very young then. In my defense, I mean,
at least I didn't put the indie Kris one up. At least I had some compassion.
I'm legit about 22 there. That is how long ago that was. I still have that picture somewhere.
That's
it wasn't a good time.
Oh, someone heard Daniel heard it. O'Donovan. My mate Richard, his surname is O'Donovan. He's a Subaru specialist. Maybe you're related.
Does he have a Technicolor Dreamcoat though?
I think that's Donovan, not O'Donovan. So what other plans you got then, Mike? Any other games you're going to before you go home?
Yeah, we're down to 2. Tomorrow afternoon, we are headed to Madrid, or as I like to call it in the business, Madrid. And there's actually a game in Madrid tomorrow night that we're not going to because it's just fucking ridiculous at this point.
What is it?
But yeah, Rayo Vallecano is hosting hosting Valencia, actually.
Oh, who's playing up front for Rayo Vallecano now? Famous, is it Cavani?
Falcao.
Oh, Falcao. I knew it was one of the ex-Monaco players doing a decent
Cavani
job.
plays for Manchester United.
Yeah, I know. But I was thinking Monaco and 40 million quid.
Yeah. So less than half of what Lamar would have cost us. But yeah, we're skipping that one because we're getting in late to Madrid. And then Tuesday night, it's leg 2 of the Chelsea.
Oh, you're going to see him
Madrid
knocked out.
Yeah. Oh, I hope so. I would love to, on back-to-back nights, to see both Premier League teams knocked out. And our final game is Wednesday night at the Wanda. We're going to be seeing the reverse leg of the Manchester City game against Atletico.
No games in Italy. That'd been one of the first. Personally, I'd have gone Germany and then Italy would have been the first 2 games I'd have tried and gone to Dortmund and Inter Milan. And then
all kind of came together at the last minute because the first one we got tickets to was the PSG game because I had promised Jake that we would go to PSG, and it was the last game that ended up getting sorted as to the time and date of it. So everything was held in abeyance until that game was scheduled, and then we just kind of fit everything around it. So I really wanted to go to
surely there's got to be. What game day are you going back?
Thursday.
Can't you fit in another game?
That would be the Rayo game tomorrow night.
There isn't any others.
Are you getting programs or souvenirs or shirts or anything for Jake to remember this by? Every game, everything? I mean, you probably get a program, aren't you?
I mean, we got a program at the Arsenal game, but we've got tickets, and we're big on living the moment. Not the collectibles are nice, but I don't think he'll forget it. I'm banking on him not forgetting this trip.
Yeah. John says I'd love to meet Wanda. I think we'd all like to meet Wanda.
Only for one night.
There was a fish called Wanda.
Oh, that was a good film. That was, by the way.
That was a very good film.
That's a belter. In fact, to this very day, only the real ones will know, and I'm pretty sure Danny and Mike will be 2 of them. Every time I'm in town or anywhere and someone honks their horn, I immediately go, "Asshole!" Every single time. It's because of that movie.
I don't think I've seen that movie in 35 years, though. So
it's brilliant. It's
a good movie.
I can't think. What's the guy? The lead? What was the actor called? Not John Cleese.
Michael Palin.
No, the other one. The guy who plays.
John Cleese.
The one with the moustache.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, he is
Kevin something.
Kevin Kline.
Oh, Kevin Kline. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's just every time a car goes past, and he has this thing about sort of road rage, and he hates the English basically. And every time a car sort of
limey bastard.
Yeah, limey bastards. Yeah. Yes, indeed. You English are so particular, aren't you? Yeah, great film. Sidebar, but yeah, there you go.
Follow up was shit though.
I don't. Oh yeah, there was the second, wasn't there?
Dangerous Creatures, I think it might have been called or something.
Yeah. And I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know to this day. Is she really a woman? Is she not? Who cares? Jamie Lee Curtis was hot back then. Just saying. And even hotter in
Places.
I've never.
Lies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Boobs.
Trading Places with the boob shot on Trading Places, but I've never been a Jamie Lee Curtis person. Not a fan.
I just John will probably agree, but the strip scene with Arnie in True Lies. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when you remember your childhood, Trading Places, great film, and then you watch it with your 8-year-old daughter and forgetting there's that boob scene, you go,
okay.
Oh, don't look.
Don't look. Daddy's masturbating.
Hello.
I don't mind her seeing boobs, but I mean, it's really kind of.
There we go. Quote of the night from John. Jamie Lee Curtis could have a dick for all I care. I'd be all over that.
That's essential. That's essentially what he said.
I can't argue with that. I can't. Yeah. I just elite levels. I don't know where
talented
to go
family. I will say that. You can't not have talent and be able to to have a dick. And,
I would say, what's been the
okay with it.
There's a quote.
What's been the moment of the trip? I take meeting Henri.
I gotta tell you that was the shocking moment, like the jaw dropping. But it just kind of came out of nowhere. There was no
Did someone come and get
for
him,
it.
or do you just bump into all three of them?
No, that like apparently they come up through. After they're done with their post game stuff, they, if they don't go out to the car park, they'll come up through the elevator into the Diamond Club because like. I'm pretty sure Thierry summoned Lacazette to come up, probably for a word of advice and encouragement.
What are you doing, you prick?
You're fucking things up. But they were just, talking outside, and then there were some other. I mean, there's a lot of money floating around in that Diamond Club after a game. I mean, my eyes were, just the decadence in that. I've seen that in a tour. In fact, the day before we were up there, but. On a game day, it's crazy, and so
coming from a bloke who's just bought a white Mustang convertible, that's saying something. Decadence.
Yeah, if it ever gets built, but yeah, it was pretty special, and the I enjoyed Saka more than I gotta say. I know this is awful to say, but I mean Thierry Henry. I just wouldn't have expected the star players of the team to come up, and I don't know what they were doing up there. Maybe they were meeting their family or something like that. But that was cool. But to me, the best part of the trip was probably just 2 hours of hearing stories from Perry Groves and laughing with him, and honestly, and this is going to sound cheesy, the pregame at the Tollington, where just kind of holding court with all of the people that I haven't seen since the last time I was over, and just standing out on the balcony on a nice day and having everyone just come up, and seeing Ola and for the first time since what's up? There's the man. That's true. And the best part of the trip is forming lifelong memories with the Jakester. So did I say soccer? Oh, I said Saka.
Saka, Saka.
Saka, sorry.
What's been Jake's highlight? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Jake, what was the highlight of the whole thing apart from spending time with your great dad?
Oh man, meeting the greatest Arsenal player ever is pretty darn cool. So probably the fact that I got a one-on-one picture with him, and the fact that all my friends at home know exactly who he is, and they were going crazy about it, and I was like, yeah, I got to do that.
He has got so many. He's got so many people who are just jealous of him right now.
I think anyone would be quite jealous of meeting Stathis Tavlidis. I mean, he is obviously the greatest Arsenal player that anyone has ever seen. So wouldn't be jealous.
I mean, if Bergkamp was there, that would have been a kind of a whole different level. But Thierry, I mean, especially for the years where I've been plugged into watching the Arsenal, to see that tail end of his career, and just he was just so cool, though. I mean, just and they weren't trying to get away. They weren't trying to I mean, I had to tackle Bukayo, but he should be used to that by now. It was happening all game long. But not just nice guys. It was really, really cool.
John says, anybody remember being 18? That seems a long time ago. Anfield 89. I was 18. That's how long ago that was.
Thought you were there.
I was 16.
Well, did you smell people? I have a habit. When women walk past me, I smell their trail. And when I meet people and when I meet them and they're up close, I always smell them to see what aftershave they're wearing.
That's why
maybe that's why you don't
coming out.
Yeah, that's why you've only ever met people one time.
Because they also smell you. And
can you? Yeah.
My point was going to be, I bet Lacazette smelled wonderful.
I would hope so. I mean, he was most definitely the most recently showered out of anybody that was in that group picture, but by a good week over me.
Do you know the best smelling footballer I have ever met?
It's got to be Giroud.
Actually, no, Robert Pires. He smelled.
Obviously,
absolutely incredible. Because
he had to be French.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Freddie Lundberg was the one I thought would be because of his, contracts and everything. He almost sort of smelt like quite musty by comparison. But Pires it was like, you walk through what was Debenhams back in the day, and you just went through the perfume count, and it's like, oh, good lord! Like, I could have just sniffed him. The
worst is it happened this morning to me. When you're hungover and you're walking through the duty-free area of the airport, like at Gatwick, they have it set up where you have to walk through, and it's chocolate, and then it's huge bottles of alcohol that make you want to puke because you've just finished a bunch of huge bottles of alcohol, and then it's the perfume and the cologne. It's like, if you want me to puke right here, this is you're doing a great job of it, but Imagine the pictures of us with Thierry Henry, and my nose is just
Is Jake going to get them printed up and put on his wall, or have them framed somewhere because they're special?
I don't know. We haven't really thought that far forward yet. We're just gonna blast them all over social media until people, one of the death threats that I'm now getting actually comes to fruition.
Have you had a death threat?
Well, I mean, people out of jealousy, they want to kill me, but
Yeah. And women want to shake you to death because you're a
Danny, when you're on top, people comment you all the time. So.
Luckily now you can only punch down. That's how good you are.
That's true. My wife needs to apologize for all those things that I've said to her.
Ajit makes a point here. Ajit says, I thought a roast would be an American roast where podcasters take shots at each other, but this kind of roast is fun as well, a lot less heated. Now, I called it the Sunday roast because it's on a Sunday. That's the only reason. And we all have, in England, Sunday roast is a thing. And only after, when I was speaking to Mike, I went, oh, that's what you lot do when you're cunts to each other. No, we don't. It's never that kind.
I figured most weeks we would just probably take the piss out of each other and would turn into a little bit of a mini roast. But this is the show. This is like what was it? Seinfeld, the show about nothing.
I'm watching Seinfeld at the moment. I'm at series 7 for the third time.
It's a show about nothing, and yet it never ends.
I'm just up to the episode with the massage where his girlfriend won't give him a massage. And I'm about to finish Star Trek Next Generation. Started that from the start as well, about 4 months ago. And I'm shocked at how much of it I hadn't seen and how much of it is dog shit. The entire 7th series is utter pants. Because they decided to go, oh, let's make each episode a character-centric episode. Don't. Because no one gives a fuck about Deanna Troi. No one gives a fuck about Klingons. There you go. That was in my brain. I had to let it out.
My wife cares a lot about Klingons when she does the laundry for us. I mean,
just gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, she's dealing with Klingons every day when I'm at home. This has been a week and a half of 0 Klingons for her. It's probably heaven.
She doesn't know. She doesn't even know what she's gonna do. So, yeah. So you've enjoyed it then? You're going to try and do this again in a couple of years, or I know you're back later in the year with your daughter.
Well, my daughter will be spending the summer in London, so we're going to come and visit her. I mean, she'll probably only let us stick around for a day or two, but we'll maybe go to Ireland or Scotland or something like that, and a nice non-football trip. Which I forget that you can still do that, but yeah, we'll do that, and then I'm back for Tommy Boy's wedding at the end of August. Chris, will you be attending that?
He's only 12. How's that going to work?
She's 11. She's 11. It's an arranged marriage.
Jesus. I mean, look at that. He's getting married. A little face on every stick-on beard. Who would have thought it? Oh, dear. He was only 10 when those pictures were taken.
I know. He was a fetus again, and not to be repetitive, but yeah, my scarf that I'm wearing in that picture you just put up,
yeah,
is about 9 years older than Thomas Cantonus. That scarf was from 1988, and Tom is from like 2001 or something like that.
Talking of young people, did I play the videos last time of me and Sean the last time I went to football?
A video?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen the videos she's taken of you with what's his name, the unicorn.
Oh, this one. Are you ready? It's only 10 seconds.
Wow, that's 1 second for each tooth.
I know. And this is the other one. I was trying to get it to say "tappy tappy, you fuckers."
Do it!
Tappy, tappy, bastards!
That's for Jason. Tappy, tappy.
R.I.P.
It looked like you were wearing a Hawaiian lei.
That's a very expensive. That wool is 20 quid a roll, and that thing costs about 40, 50. No, about 50 quid to make. I've got a blanket like it as well. But here's one other video.
That's
nothing to do with
decadence.
football. If this doesn't make you smile, I was watching Twitch last night, and the bloke was talking about Aldo Cookie. He used to be on the radio up north, and he's a Blackburn Rovers fan, and he was talking about it got onto rude stuff, and I said that back in the day, Sean's mum, if anybody sticks their tongue in my ear or plays in my ear, it sends me loopy, and she used to go, "You fucking cunt." She'd whisper that into my ear.
Was that why you recoiled when I went in for the hug when I at the train station?
I've explained what that is. Anybody meets me, you're not all allowed to hug me unless I know you. But people have a habit of they go to grab you to hug you, and then they pull you forward. And if I go more forward than that, you'll be picking me off the floor. So as soon as someone grabs me, I go like that. So what I should do is go, "Come to me, Michael." I should have done like that.
You have permission to enter.
Right. So to explain the thing in the ear, I have such sensitive ears. We went to Woburn Abbey Zoo, and this happened.
It's going very, really light.
You can unmute yourselves. You paid £1 and you got a little tub of stuff that they used to drink, like a nectar thing.
I remember seeing this on one of your podcasts a long time ago.
And anybody does anything to my ears, I can't breathe. I start crying. And I'm just a mess. It was on my.
How long
and then
did
I start dribbling. Look, I'm a mess.
Sadly, that bird is no longer with us. It died shortly afterwards of poisoning. Oh my god!
The various oils that must have been ingested.
I think I'd put the stuff for my eczema in my ears, and so my ears were a little bit flaky, and it went flaky, num 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 num, and it gobbled it all down. So
at least it isn't the peanut butter thing with the dog. You know,
don't go there. We don't talk. Bloody hell, there's been 13 comments.
There was a serious question, which I believe that I, amongst others, are very well equipped to handle. I actually started and then I lost it here.
It's there.
Yeah, I can report that they're actually, of all of the now I've been in 8 stadia on this trip. Emirates probably the widest seats, right? Yeah. Would you say? I mean, he's got the normal size tuchus. Whereas I have the plus size tuchus, and it fits. It fits. You know what the past tense of fit is? Fat.
Fat.
It's fat. So,
did you know there's a type of creature? You know, many octopuses is an octopi, and I think technically, if there's any more than 3 types of octopus, it is still octopuses.
It goes back.
I think it's either there's some kind of animal where you don't pluralize it with an S, you pluralize it with an I, but when there's 3 or more versions of that animal, it's back to an S's. Write that down, someone. Kris is asleep.
That's crazy.
The more you know.
Now this, while the seats at the Emirates are fat person friendly, the seats inside the flats at Highbury are not. And I'm just looking to see if we still have that video.
We do. It's there.
That video. Oh, it's the video, right? Yeah, this.
Mike Brook, the chairman. Oh, what the fuck you doing? Mike Brook, the chairman.
Hilarious.
My son just said, "You looked so ba'a."
Did we ask Jake what's the highlight of the trip? We did ask him, didn't we? And he said meeting Saka.
He appropriately said,
I thought so.
And Saka.
I might have
I thought it was Perry.
So you've been getting taxis and buses and trains everywhere?
No, I mean mostly. Yeah, no, we didn't do the bus when we were in London, and I don't like the buses anywhere else. So it's been mostly public transportation. We use the tram in Manchester. A lot of tubes. When we've been like nomads going from hotel to hotel every day with our luggage and stuff. So when we're walking, I don't like doing the tube with the bags because you never know whether there's going to be an escalator or a bunch of stairs, and I just start sweating, and it's a whole mess. So normally it's like this morning we Ubered to London Bridge and then we took the train to Victoria with a stop in Norwood Junction just to rub it in. That Crystal Palace did the double on us almost.
All right, John.
Oh yeah, I meant Gatwick.
So Jake been dragging, looking after his old man, making sure he got home because he was a mess.
Yep.
A couple nights.
Last night and after Dortmund.
Yeah, he's got some videos of me after the Dortmund game where he was basically just trolling me, and I was just being a complete idiot. And I'm not. At some point, we might play them on the Sunday roast. I'll have to cue them up, but I'm not sure I really want them getting out into the world.
Because you've got a career to think about.
There might be some private. They're just for private consumption, but yeah, there's been a couple of bad nights, but he's been in good humor about it. He doesn't love when it happens at home, but he's been all right with this.
I hate drunk people. I refuse to be around drunk people because you have to human. How was Ola? Now that he's
well, that was a nice transition. Oh, we had about a 20-minute hug yesterday at the Tollington. I told Jake, I'm like, when Ola gets here, just watch the show because he was so he's obviously been very appreciative of what everyone did for him to help him be able to afford to renew his papers and be legal and stay in the country. But just seeing him like a couple weeks later, there was a very emotional scene. He's doing well. He didn't come to the game. He didn't have a ticket for the game. Jesus,
he went all the way down there and wait and just to meet everyone.
Yeah. He came because he wanted to see everyone.
Oh, that's nice.
He stayed and watched the game there, and then we didn't get back to the Tolly until about 2.5 hours after the final whistle because first the whole honoree thing, and then we had to go back to Alcedo on Holloway Road to return our tickets from the lovely Jack Stevenson who was there, and so we had a drink together and watched some of that Tottenham game, and by the time I got back to the Tolly, everyone was gone except for Ola, a couple of American folks that I had met before, and Ryan and Monique Rocastle, who had come there, unbeknownst to me, to visit, to say hi. So a nicer pair of people you could not find. They're a credit to their father's memory, and the whole family is just the nicest family. So I just apologized to him today because I'm like, by the time I saw you, I had consumed quite a bit of wine. I hope I didn't act a fool because he's seen me in that state a couple times, and yet he still likes me. So what can you do? What can you do? Chris on Twitter. That's a very good question.
Of course he is.
I'm actually just scrolling just out of morbid curiosity at who is winning the Masters, but it looks like it's kind of over. So
who won
sad
it?
Times. The dude who was winning it. I didn't really follow it closely this year, but
I can only
I've
name
just seen
one
the
person who
final
plays golf.
You're
Woods.
going to say
That's it.
Tiger Woods, aren't you? Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah.
No, I forget the guy's name, but he was, he was out in front overnight. So, yeah. Anyway.
Didn't watch a single putt chip or anything this year.
Good.
Yeah, it's not as exciting as 12 games of football.
See, Mike has expensive water, don't he?
He's
That's-
loaded, isn't he?
That's hotel water if ever I've seen it.
Is that from the
This
fridge
was-
where they're
this
going to
was-
charge you 30 quid for it?
This was the place across the street from the hotel selling me a water at 5 minutes past midnight, even though they were closed at midnight. So I had to beg, get down on my hands and knees.
How was the Barcelona game? Because Barcelona 1-0 down, 1-1, 2-1 up, 2-2, 3-2-1, wasn't it?
It was scoreless at halftime, and the
Did you
second
get a
half
stadium
was
announcement there?
fantastic. No, they
Oh,
no these assholes didn't even. They don't even sell beer with alcohol in it. They were selling like
mates-
the near beer stuff, and I didn't get fooled though, like I did in at Lisbon when we went to the Europa League game against Lisbon. The whole everyone there, because they had just changed the rules to where they could serve alcohol again at UEFA games, but apparently the away section they were serving near beer too, and they didn't say that it was near beer. So everyone
I don't know
was
what that means.
like 0 points, like alcohol free beer.
Fuck that
And
shit.
yeah, well, but the funny thing was everyone was like downing them and drink, like because the line was super long, and then when the word started to get out that it was fake beer, like the entire line just disappeared. Like it tastes the same, but what's the point of that?
So that's why they're downing it, because it doesn't matter like how much of it they drink.
Well, no, that's not why they were downing it, because they wanted to have as many as they could very quickly, but that at that point, what's the use? It's over. The fun was over because as I've always taught my children, you can't have fun unless you're drunk.
That is bullshit. Being drunk is not fun. It's nonsense.
This trip is perfect evidence of that, because I've not had one drink and I'm having a great time.
Yeah,
That's right.
I was last
He's
drunk
had-
in 1994. Never again.
He's had 19,462 cranberry juices and 4,191 bags of crisps. And
He's
I
got
could
shit
live.
like a racehorse.
I could live on crisps. I ate so many crisps over the last couple of
We
days.
know.
My poo was yellow.
Yeah, we're off.
you could not live on crisps because where would your sweets be?
I don't eat sweets. Can't.
You don't eat sweets. Bend the
Only when
camera
you
down
fucking
to
come
your
over
table.
and shoplift them with me.
Bend the camera down.
Hey, Danny, I got some for you if you want.
Oh.
Show them the cookies from the Diamond Club last night. You want to
And
see
you have to
Diamond Club
alternate.
cookies?
If you're a pro, you alternate the crisps flavors to make them more appetizing. Never start with salt and vinegar.
All right, so this is a Diamond Club cookie. Hold on. With little eggs, chocolate eggs cookie, and then this is the other one. If you like Cadbury cream eggs, this is a very flattering view.
Breathe in.
Look at
Oh,
this
I'd be all over that.
Look at this. All right.
Dad took one bite earlier and he could not eat anymore because of how sweet it is.
Well, I was hungover and
Mike broke the chair, man.
Oh, what the fuck you doing?
Mike broke the chair.
Are you pressing buttons again?
that was all. Oh, did I do that?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't. I thought you were. So this is what.
Oh yeah, that is relevant actually. You've been a fat fuck eating chocolate. That was the internet.
I know. I thought you did that on purpose.
No.
So here's the answer to the question that someone asked earlier, which was, "How am I doing on my diet?"
What diet?
Yeah, the diet is on pause.
It's all about how it goes when we get back.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
I'm going to get back on the diet when we get back. And frankly,
You've done really well, to be fair.
In the last 9 days, I've probably walked 50 or 60 miles.
We've walked a lot.
Like, so whatever I'm eating.
I don't think it's offsetting it completely, though.
Yeah. Whatever I haven't eaten.
Walking.
I'm not eating a lot, but when I'm eating, it's freaking ridiculous. Lamb ribs were had. I went for a cheeky Chinese. I said cheeky, by the way. I went
You
to
can say whatever you
Chinese.
want.
Well, so yeah, I've ticked all the boxes food wise, and now there's nothing left. I had a paella earlier today. Seeing red peppers. No red peppers. Is it
You're
weird?
sick
Let me
now,
ask you
are
this.
you now you've eaten that when you weren't even hungry, just to prove a point.
Oh, I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Oh, mama, I'm hungry.
let me ask you a question, since this is the podcast to ask this. When you're in another country, and Kris, look, pretend you're in France, but do you try to assimilate and speak as much of the language as you can, or is it an all or nothing kind of thing?
I try.
Like if you know enough to be dangerous, do you try and then just kind of intersperse? Like, will you speak like Spanglish?
Only if I know some of the language. Like when I went to Malta, I tried to learn some basic Maltese, and it's really complicated, so I just gave up. And most people speak English anyway, and it's the same in France. Most people speak.
If I went to
English.
Malta, I would just be asking everyone for Maltesers the whole time.
I didn't get on that very lucky.
Yeah, I would just assume that they would know what I'm talking about.
And because it's so touristy, most people speak English anyway. So I suppose, and I know it like in Paris in particular, there's a lot of English speaking people anyway. So I think it's only if you go to the suburbs where like the village sort of towns or the smaller cities is where you get sort of very, and most people like the English. I don't know why, because we're absolute arseholes abroad, but they seem to quite like us.
And people who want to speak English in foreign countries tend to be more like like they expect you to speak English rather than they ask you. And I think that's so I try to assimilate. I've always tried to like fit in wherever I am, other than like my closet. But like my family gives me a hard time because we were in Barcelona one time and I ordered paella, and I don't like a ton of vegetables in it. So I read the thing and it said, there's seafood, there's rice and saffron and red peppers. And so I go to the waiter. We're in a hurry too, I think, because we were watching a game later. I go to the waiter and I say, can I please have the paella seen red peppers? And immediately my family is just completely mocking me because I chose to use one Spanish word surrounded by like can you hook me up with some paella seen red peppers? And
what does seen mean?
It means without. So like instead of just saying, which would have been completely understood, can I have that without red peppers? I said, can I have it seen red peppers? And that's like a meme that my family still teases me about today. And I'm saying it now for the first time, and I think it was pretty dumb. I think I'm coming to the conclusion that they deserve to make fun of me for that. But
you ordered an agua still earlier.
Oh yeah, a still agua, because I didn't want to get the bubbly kind, so I ordered a still agua. And
I needed you on Monday after the graduation. We went to Derby, and there was a big shopping centre there. Went to the top floor, third story, and there's restaurants. So I went for pizza, and I'm talking to the woman. I went, "Oh, you got an accent? Where are you from?" And she said, "Guess." I went, "It's either Scandinavia or Eastern Europe." She was from Lithuania, and then she's bringing over my mum's food and Sean's and her mum's. And she had, I said, "Oh, my pizza." She went, "I'm just getting my pizza." I shouted out, "No green shit." She went, "No." She brought it back and went, "Don't worry, no green shit."
No green, no.
So conscious.
Did I send you a picture? The first night we were in Germany,
yes,
I had a rocket salad, and I stuffed a bunch of rocket in my mouth in your honor.
There was no one in the restaurant when I did it, though. Yeah, I saw that video. Made me heave.
Sounds weird. Yeah, I had some rocket just for you, and then as soon as the video was over, I spit it out and vomited, and then I walked through the Gatwick airport with all the smells.
So will you be
Speaking
going
of-
sightseeing during the day?
Yeah, tomorrow's our only day in Valencia, really. So
Valencia. You're going to tell everyone you know Gary Neville? You get stoned.
Valencia. I'm going to do that dance that that Tony Adams did when he was coach. Do you remember that training video of him? Like, yeah. What the hell?
Oh, the
was
training one. Yes.
Yeah, and he was manager.
What club was that? That wasn't Valencia, was it?
Wasn't it Getafe?
I think it might have
I
been.
think it was Getafe. Yeah.
It was some theater league club that.
Yeah.
that Tom
Rocket
came
is
from.
Arugula in the USA. What the fuck is that?
Arugula. Yeah, Rocket is like it's like a leafy. It's not romaine lettuce. It's not really lettuce. It's more. I think arugula is probably a pretty good way of referring to it. How can you love Rocket? Like that's like saying I love dandelions.
I often ask my family when we're out for dinner and they have that shit put on their food. I'd say, if you go out, you probably heard me, Mike. If I went out in the front garden and took a handful of various shrubs and greenery and grass and put it on your pizza, you'd fucking think you're being posh. It's bollocks. It tastes of nothing.
We are
apart
very
from
alike on that.
green.
He does not. Yeah, he'll pick the oregano, and so yes, it does count as green shit. He'll pick the oregano.
Bell.
Off of everything.
Thank you. Good man, Jake.
Bell.
Lovely. Did you see Did you see my video from yesterday about the pigeons?
No, that's another thing that Jake can't stand. You see, you guys are more alike than you realize. Everyone thinks that we're twins. He hates pigeons. He hates green shit. I have green shit. And,
I had yellow shit.
Kris, how's your when are your colonoscopy videos being uploaded to StreamYard?
They're on my OnlyFans, I'm afraid. You have to pay for that shit. So
yeah, that's the Patreon version of the Sunday roast.
Yeah, the live streams.
During yesterday's show that I did with Nick, I just stopped during Nick was talking. I stopped during the show, and this is what happened. Don't you shit on my car. I've had that washed. Fucking pigeons. Look at them. Cats, assemble.
He doesn't know what to do.
No, they're just looking at him out the window. I had the Merc washed for the first time since last summer, and this bird's fucking sitting on it. Fucking birds.
When you said at the start of the show about like people like us being invited onto Sky to talk about Arsenal, this is why we will never be invited onto any professional platform.
Sorry,
ever.
Tom, we've finally
Doesn't
killed
matter
it
how
off for
knowledgeable
you.
we are. It will never ever be. You can imagine you on like Sky Sports. I know Gary Neville goes, so Danny, you've been an Arsenal fan for many years. What's your thoughts on Arteta's new tactics? And you'd be like, well, I personally think, Carragher, you fucking cunt, shut up. You know fucking nothing. Sorry, Gary, where were we? Like, can you imagine?
Where were we?
You'd be like,
Actually,
you'd be the most unfriendly Sky pundit ever.
There you go. There is an email from BBC Radio London. Hi, folks. I was wondering if you would be free at 6:10 to be a guest for 5 minutes to phone about last night's game. Thanks. I didn't get up till 6 o'clock the next day, so I didn't fucking reply.
Do they know who you are?
No, obviously. But I said sorry about that. I'll send him
Sorry about that.
Later.
We're the least fucking professional podcast you've ever had the misfortune to see. Please get someone with a professional bone in their body.
I love this
remote with a bit. Yeah. 2 days after they sent me, I replied, "Fuck, that's why we're getting nowhere."
Oh my lord.
Oh yeah, Carragher is a cunt. Fuck him.
Well, it's almost 1 a.m. here now, and I don't have the converter plugged into my computer, so I'm about to lose laptop power, and so I'm gonna bow out. I don't know if this is the end or did you play the intro video at the beginning?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
Sunday roast intro video. Kris, what did you think of the video?
I've seen the show a few times before, so it wasn't my first rodeo. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I do. You're like an underrated Lady Gaga. I mean, you're a lyrical gymnastic. I mean, you're just.
That's what I keep trying to tell people. I mean,
I just wish you'd have had like that Sia. I wish you'd have had a gimmick where I don't know, like you had some kind of disguise, like you walk around with a lampshade on your head or something, and then you would be the modern day Banksy, but in like podcast form. What the fuck is that?
Oh,
there you go. Now you just look like button. You look like the guys from Star Wars during Empire Strikes Back when they all have to wear like dead animal carcasses.
the Return of the Jedi.
There you go. There you go. Oh, for fuck's sake.
That was Sebi's brilliance when I was getting so keyed up on Monchi coming to the Arsenal. I was like, everything's going to be all right now at Arsenal because we're getting Monchi, and then we didn't get Monchi.
These are quite good, to be fair. I have to ask before we.
That's actually me. That is me.
Before we end this affair, I have to ask you: Did you get to watch the wrestling in the end, Mike, or did you give it a miss this year?
Did I get to look?
Did you get to watch Mania?
We watched, that night at Dortmund where I was we got back to the hotel and watched the first probably 3 or 4 matches of night one. I have not seen, and I've seen some other highlights and stuff. I've seen the stunner, the quote unquote stunner on Vince.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't watched all the way through yet. I obviously know the results, but I wasn't really able to catch it.
Well, you missed. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, Charlotte's tit falling out was a highlight. Other than that, it wasn't anything great. But
did that actually happen?
Though?
Oh yeah, it's not her first slip, shall we say? But
she's more manly than her dad.
I thought I've seen that before.
Yeah. Oh, I still would, Danny. I'm not gonna lie. I still would.
Well, she wouldn't after seeing this podcast. That's for certain.
Even if she had two penises, Kris would still do that.
Or penis.
Peanut.
Yes.
Unless she's got 4 penises, then it's penises.
Oh, good lord.
It goes back to that. All right. Well, I've got to go urinate and call it a night. So yeah, I went 2 nights in a row. I went from that to what we're doing right now in just over 24 hours time. So
that is impressive.
Absolute disaster.
I thought it was when you called me earlier. I thought it was to ask if we were doing the show tonight because I forgot that I was an hour ahead of you. But
oh no, I was having pizza with Sean's mum, and I was telling her about your journey and showed her the pictures. And she went, "How did he meet those?" I said, "I shall ring him up and ask him." And he didn't fucking bother answering my call. That's where he is. He's moved up in the world. All I got was his secretary.
It was Sean's mother or your mother?
Sean's mum.
Oh, okay.
My mum's out getting pissed up at a party.
What a Sunday!
Danny's mom had the hots for me until she found out that I was a Jew. Which is live on the intro/outro that's getting ready to play.
I told you. I asked her what that. Ask him who's his daddy, meaning me and you got the same dad. That's what she meant. Apparently, doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's what she says. Yes.
All right. So am I out or are we out?
You can go if you want.
We can wrap up as well if you want that. We can just do 5 minutes if you like, because I'm going to bed soon. So you know.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got shit to do tomorrow.
Oh, lovely.
All right. Ladies and gents, it's been fun, but we have more football to watch. So we'll see you next Sunday night, 10 p.m. UK. Back on regular service returns, and on the third night of Passover, no less.
Safe travels, sir.
And Easter
which
Sunday.
Is my favourite Passover of the night. The third one, always the best.
Yeah. Third through fifth.
Third time's a charm.
Unbelievable.
And if you see my mate Anton, say hello for me.
If I see who?
If you see my mate Anton Griezmann, then when you go to the Athletic game, please do give him my regards because I love that man.
We shall do. Our seats for this one are much better than our seats at Man City were, so we shall do so.
Awesome. Safe travels.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
See you,
Thanks
Mike.
for
See you,
letting me
Joe.
crash.
See you in a
Take
minute.
care.
Oh, that
And
was
then
nice.
there were two. Well, that worked out well, didn't it?
That is a dream of a journey, being able to do that at 18 years old. That's
God,
something
yeah.
you're never going to stop talking about.
I don't think I mean, my first Arsenal game, I was like 17, 18, but that was at West Ham, believe it or not.
My first one was at Spurs.
At the old Boleyn ground. Yeah.
18th of October, 1987. Oh, so I'd have been 17.
Don't know how old I was. It's going back a bit now, but I remember Julian Dix was in the West Ham team, so it's going back a bit now.
I bet he's a fat bastard now, though.
He played professional golf for a while, I think, Julian Dix. He was quite a good golfer, from memory.
Until he started hitting people with a club, probably.
Well, that too. Him and Neil Ruddock. Yeah.
It is. Oh, so have you enjoyed your Sunday roast debut?
Yeah, it went well, and it was actually quite cool for Mike to jump in. To be fair, that was good. That was good. It's nice to have a chat to him again, and it's been fun. And obviously, once I can't come back on the regular podcast again until we start winning again, because otherwise everybody's going to have a go at me for criticizing Mikel. But I do hope it goes back to normal. Is it Southampton, isn't it? Away? Is it away? Yeah, away next week.
Well,
so
Chelsea smashed 6 against them.
Yeah, but we all know that doesn't make a difference. We all know that Southampton will be fine by the time we play them, and but yeah, I shall be sort of around as and when we're short again of numbers. But yeah, it's been fun. It has been fun indeed.
Just going through the YouTube, accepting all people's sweary messages. So I've been going through Sean's Pokemon cards. Made about 100 quid so far. Got another 700 to list.
Splendid business.
Living the life.
I am. I'm going to replace my audio equipment soon. I'll be happy to know. So I might even sound a little bit better. So there you go.
What, your microphone?
Thinking about getting an arm and all that jazz and a proper mic and yeah.
Why? You've got no money. You're eating cat litter.
Well, I have enough, but I'm just every time I listen back to these podcasts, I always sound like I'm in a tinny room and I'm just a bit bored of it. So I'd like to actually have some decent audio quality. So
my one isn't even the right way up.
Doesn't surprise me.
No, my one's meant to be blah 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 blah. Mine's meant to be like that all the time, but then I prefer to have it like that because then it doesn't stick. It looks a bit. I don't like it when people have got their microphones when they take up most of their fucking face.
Yeah, I'm planning to have one sort of here, like sort of here,
Yeah.
And I'm going to go full streamer. I'm going to turn into a right wanker.
But is it just for the 2 podcasts, or are you endeavouring on new stuff?
No. I've thought about updating my whole system, but I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I have thought about getting lights and a decent background and stuff, but that's a project further down the line. I need to.
What you should do is get lights in. Have you seen how my lights in the ceiling work?
I like the pretty ones with the colours and the strips, and yeah, I like the.
Like if I go Echo, sitting room lights green.
Well, would you look at that?
Echo, sitting room lights pink. It's ignoring me now. Echo, sitting room lights white. Ta-da!
Whoa, kapow. Oh, the cat's woken up. But yeah, I will see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I need to have a bit of a clear out in this room first. So we'll see. Christ. We'll see how we get on, but I may well invest in an arm at some point. Yeah.
Dora,
leave the poor bugger to sleep. She's snuggling. Of course she is, because she's happily snuggled up. Bless her. Which is exactly where I'd like to be in 5 minutes. So get this shit over with.
Okie dokie. Right, people. Echo. Sitting room lights red. You can. Fuck you. Right, people. Mr. Boblik said, did we have a roast dinner today? No, I had a Domino's pizza, and Chris had, what pizza was it?
A Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. Yes, Echo's making my head change colour. It's a fucker. Right, Kris, where can people find you if they want to listen to your dulcet tones or anything about French football?
Oh, well, I'm at Casey_runs with a Z or a Z if you're American on Twitter. Same. Actually, am I the same on Instagram? Yes, I am the same on Instagram at Casey_runs. And you can find me podcasting on a Monday. Well, we usually record on a Monday. It's usually released on a Monday, sometimes Tuesday, sometimes Thursday. It just depends when our schedules align. But French Football Weekly at French Football Weekly on Twitter. At FFW Pod. Sorry, I always get that wrong. But yes, we talk French football. So if you like French football, tune in. If you don't, you probably won't enjoy our show. So maybe don't. But yeah, if you do like roughly an hour-long episode each week of the look back at the week before, then tune in. And of course, you can find me on this wonderful platform where I got my sea legs all those years ago. So I shall be back, I'm sure, whenever Danny needs me next.
Oh, jolly good. I'm going to send you over as a raid to a bloke called the Tech Tourist. He's an American. He lives in the Philippines, I think it is. And he goes on his bike, electric bike, and rides around the whole of the Philippines day and night. It's an absolute joy to watch. So if you are on Twitch, go and say hello to him, and he won't know who I am because the Burkamp Wonderland isn't the person he knows as Danny the GFP. He doesn't even really know me. So, yeah, thanks to Kris, and thanks to Mike, and thanks to Jake, and most of all, thank you to you beautiful bastards in the chat. We will see you probably on Wednesday or Thursday to have a right old moan about the state of our club. So there you go. Just seeing if the raid is going to work. Is it working? Oh, hosting. Did I say host or did I did a raid? Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, and goodbye.